Hi, you're watching Sipping Off the Cuff on TequilaAficionado.com and Tequila Aficionado Media. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio, and that guy over there is Max Headroom.
Rick Levy, the Lost Explorer in San Diego.
Yeah, the Lost Explorer. If you're wondering what we're doing with these 3D glasses, we're gonna be tasting and discussing. I can't even get these things on to stay on. Hang on. I have really short ears. This is the Lost Explorer. See that? See how that works? Lost Explorer, and this is a very strange packaging. Boy, you look really weird. Those buttons down here, everything is in 3D. It's got this little book.
I gotta take these off. I can't see anything without my glasses.
Starting to screw things up. It's got this little booklet and 3D glasses. And I thought I hadn't opened it. I mean, I hadn't opened the glasses. I thought there was like POS material here, right? No, it's just pictures of
just for fun.
Yeah, but everything's like right in your face. Obviously, it's kind of nifty. I haven't seen these since we were kids. You know, there were some really fancy ones at Disney when we got to see when we stood in line for Captain EO years and years ago. But anyway, this is a mezcal, right, Rick?
Yeah, Joven.
A Joven mezcal. This is a medley, by the way. It is Espadín and Tobalá.
Yeah, the Tobalá was harvested from the wild, and the Espadín was cultured.
Okay. Do we know what the percentages are as far as one versus the other?
We don't.
We don't. Okay. What we do know is that this is a high proof, Rick. This is going to be your first high proof mezcal, at least with me anyway. Really slick packaging though, kind of nice.
Yeah.
Very clean, very simple.
I like it. And the box that it came in when they shipped it was pretty cool. You know, a lot of attention to detail with the shipping labels.
It's
pretty
just
cool.
so
Like something that you know, you might have been out exploring, and you know, maybe you had to call this in, and they dropped it from a plane, and now you can enjoy some refreshing mezcal while you're climbing a mountain or tromping through the jungle.
It's reserves, right? Did you see where it says established 2025?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what even the slogan says live curiously. So I'm very curious about some of the stuff in here. It is a 90 proof, 45 ABV. Está envasado de origen San Pablo, Huixtepec, Oaxaca, Mexico. So that's where it's coming from.
I'm so glad you read that.
My Zapotec is not like it used to be, but you know,
butchered that.
What
do
we know?
Me tell you what I found out about this.
Okay, you discovered the Lost Explorer.
Yeah, well, the Lost Explorer is a new lifestyle brand created by David de Rothschild. And
really?
Yeah, those are the Rothschilds of the famous banking family.
No kidding.
David is an adventurer and an environmentalist, an eco-adventurer, and he wanted to create a lifestyle brand. And so he has a brand built around, you know, the things that he finds on his travels. And one of the things he wanted to include, you know, there's a lot of clothing and, you know, different apparel and accessories. But something he wanted to include from the beginning with it was a mezcal. And so he worked with a first-generation self-taught master mezcalero, Don Fortino Ramos Florian, who has been making mezcal for over 2 decades. And apparently he has made some pretty interesting spirits.
Well, Okay, so this is not his first rodeo, apparently.
Yeah.
By the way, it is dipped and waxed, and you may have remembered that this was actually what I pulled last week from bottles. We won't even go into that. That was another tequila that we were dealing with. But I got my wax seals mixed up. This is the wax seal that's on this mezcal.
Yeah, and it has the Lost Explorer logo for the brand.
Yeah, not a whole lot of bubbles for a high concentration.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we got some.
So in this initial batch that they made, this is the inaugural batch. They made 900 bottles.
Wow!
So it's a very small batch, limited edition. And another thing that David wanted to do, apparently, with the Lost Explorer brand, is to create the brand in a very sustainable, environmentally friendly way, to the point where even with, I guess, some of their clothing, they're like culturing their own fibers, possibly. It might actually be to that extent. They're trying to have apparently, zero impact on the environment while they're creating this. And they're also trying to do things like, preserve the artisanal crafts of the various areas that they visit.
So this Rothschild gentleman is a philanthropist, then, I would assume. An entrepreneur, philanthropist.
Yeah, entrepreneur, rich guy that likes to travel.
That's how these lines begin.
What it reminded me of. I actually went to the Lost Explorer website, and I was exploring it. And they have a catalog, and then they have like a little lifestyle magazine section, and they actually have this really cool, trippy video that shows the production process for the mezcal, but it is like this trippy story at the same time. So
you really gotta you have to wear your 3D glasses.
Yeah, the video wasn't in 3D, but it was very highly produced. When he put together the brand, he got top creatives in on it, and so there's a big budget behind this brand. But where was I going with this?
I don't know. I was going to ask you.
I was on the website, and I was checking out the magazine and the catalog. And do you remember watching Seinfeld in the 90s?
Yes.
Yeah. Elaine Bennis was an editor for a lifestyle catalog, the J. Peterman catalog.
Yeah,
and that's what this kind of reminded me of.
It's the puffy shirt. Maybe I should have worn my puffy shirt. I don't know. Well, let's see how the juice tastes. I mean, it's really pristine. I mean, I love the packaging and the labeling is very clean.
Yeah, the bottle reminds me of like like an old apothecary bottle or something.
Well, if you look at the back, it looks like there's another design there that you could, if you looked at it through your glasses, you probably could get it to jump out at you.
Yeah, there's some of the 3D images from that book imprinted on the back side of the labels.
Well, this is a cork, and it's dipped in red wax. It is a wooden top. This real cork there, Rick. It doesn't look like it's a pressed hybrid. It looks like real cork. I am going to use the Glencairn whiskey blended glasses, and you're going to use the Chisholm Trail glass.
Yeah, I have my Chisholm Trail Mescal Jarritos.
Jarritos, the hybrid that actually the first prototype. We're supposed to be getting some more updated versions here shortly. In the meantime,
we've certainly been enjoying these.
They're for what they are, even though the prototypes, Rick, I was really impressed. And you know how I love to use this glass, particularly with Mescal. So, and it does, because it doesn't take a whole lot of a sample to get any kind of any kind of nose and flavor profile.
It appears to have a really nice viscosity to it. It's hanging on the glass.
Yep.
You got some nice legs and tiers.
Strong, pungent nose. This is more of the traditional mezcal that I'm familiar with.
Yeah, it's back to the traditional smoky profile.
Yeah, but it's also not knowing which of the agaves we're nosing. It smells almost like straight espadín, so it's hard to know without knowing the blend, the percentage of the blend. It's hard to know how much of either is in this batch. But I would say
it's certainly fragrant.
Yeah, I would say the majority of it was probably espadín.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the agave nose. There is the smoky profile.
It's kind of almost like a buttery nose. You know that?
Yeah, it is. You know, it's like warm and soft.
And then there's earth also. You can a little bit down further. You can get a little bit more of a. I get earth. You know, I'm not getting like wet cement or anything, but it's more like.
We've been reviewing a lot of mezcals that have been made in almost the same kind of way that tequila is made. But this, you know, they've actually gone to the earthen pit in order to bake the agaves for this.
Well, you saw the video. I've scanned through some of the pictures, which are probably based on the video anyway, and it looks pretty rustic. The palenque, where they're making this, looks very rustic, very traditional.
Yeah, like you hear the stories about you know, finding the best mezcal. You're tromping up into the into the mountain with your plastic jug to go and get filled from the local guy who makes it. So they say it's cooked in earthen ovens, Tahona ground, fermented in open-top wood barrels with ambient native yeasts, and then double distilled in a copper alembic still.
Wow! I gotta try it. I gotta go in for it. Wow. That's a solid agave punch.
Yeah.
You know, it's not bad. I expected it to be a little bit more a little bit more aggressive than it really is. This you know, maybe one agave complements the other. You know, to get some sort of a balance, or to keep the edge off. What I call sometimes I call it the gaminess from being too overpowering. Because when you go strictly espadín at a high ABV, or strictly Tobola, which you and I have had at 80 proof, but we've never had Tobola at a higher proof. At least not. And sometimes the higher proof makes it a bit more gamey. You know, you get a whole lot more agave. This is for a high ABV. I'm surprised it's not as aggressive as I thought it would be. Because the nose is very fragrant.
It is. It has you know, it's easy on the entry, but then you know, and a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of butteriness on the entry, and then, you know, there's just this big pepper effect that grows into the finish.
And I get the palate coating is the humo, the smoke, but it's pleasant. It's not, you know, it's not like somebody just burned a tire or anything like that. It's not that acetone.
It doesn't hit you like a tire fire.
Yeah, it doesn't hit you like a tire fire, but it actually clings to your palate. The only thing what I can relate it to, and this may not be relatable to you, but for those of us who like cigars, you know, when you enjoy a cigar, you have that cigar on your palate, And usually what I'll try and do is have like a cup of coffee or espresso with my cigar, because one cleanses the palate for the other. But without any palate cleansing, you have, it's odd. You have the smoke coating your palate as if I had just inhaled a cigar, you know, that was made out of agave or something. I don't know. I know it's a strange. Let's put it this way: if you were a cigar, if I were to describe what smoking a cigar is like, I would say, drink this and let it sit on your palate for a little while, and then, you know, the after effect, because it's on my palate right now. It's as if I had smoked an agave myself, you know, or something herbal. You know what I mean?
I'm enjoying the finish. You know, it has a nice wet finish to it.
Yeah. Wow, this is really well made for a medley, for a Espadín / Tobola.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, you know, I'm, you know, gradually getting into mezcals, and, you know, I'm really enjoying this despite the smokiness. So
this is our first high proof mezcal, you and I, because the mezcals that we've had in the past have all come in at 80 proof. They were Scorpion and Escorpion, and we've done every varietal that they have, and we just fell all over ourselves. But in the back of my head, I'm going, yeah, but wait till Rick has something at a higher point.
I know.
You know?
Early on, before, you know, long before all of these Scorpion and Escorpion, I had dipped my feet into mezcal with some Del Maguey, and, you know, the smoky profile really hit me upside the head on, you know, whichever one that I had had. And so that had kind of turned me off a bit. I'm not sure if because I've been easing back in slowly, or just, you know, because this is so well done. But, you know, the smokiness isn't bothering me at all. You know, it's just enough to enjoy.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I think they balanced the smoke, because I have had a few that have been at higher proof with it, and I agree with you. Sometimes the smoke is overwhelming. If you're not prepared for something like that, it could catch you completely off guard, especially if you've been doing a lot of tequila or a lot of aged tequilas. But this is really something. We
got a nice balance of sweet, citrus, smoke, earth, mineral,
water,
a little bit of mineral.
Yeah, this is really well done. I'm really impressed with, you know, because there's one thing, again, we always say never judge your tequila or mezcal by its packaging, and this is really slick. It's slick and simple, but it really is worthy of picking up, especially if you're looking to explore, you know, mezcals at a higher proof.
Right. Well, I have something you might judge this on.
Okay. Let's hear it.
The prices I found are currently between $160 and $170 a bottle. So, you know, we're used to paying more for mezcal than tequila.
Right.
You know, it is made in smaller batches. It's harder to make. But, you know, with this, I think a part of it is, you know, you're paying for this lifestyle brand. But also, I'm sure they're having a close eye to sustainability and, you know, the impact on the environment. So, you know, hopefully that is baked in there as well.
I would imagine that it is. I'm sure many of the profits go back to the region and the sustainability of the palenque, and you know, I'd have to do more reading on the Lost Explorer and what exactly the gentleman is after. I haven't seen the video or anything like that, but just judging from, you know, from the bottle, I think it's a worthy addition. I'm not sure that the pricing for a medley would justify that kind of pricing. You know, you're going to have to make up your own mind, because they're bottles of Del Maguey or other mezcals that use one plant, and you're paying that much, and you think to yourself, well, yeah, but it's just that one, and it's coming from a certain region, from a certain, you know, maker.
Well, I would think that adding the Tobola would actually probably increase their cost.
Yeah. Yeah, but, you know, and there are other medleys that for instance, El Silencio, that comes in at 80 proof. And that's a medley of 3 different agaves. So, I don't know. You know,
like the Fidencio Tobola goes for around 130. Del Maguey has a Tobola for 120. And then Del Maguey Espadin Especial around 100.
How much did you say this bottle is going?
This is going between 160 and 170. I found it at High Time for 160 and at Old Town for 170.
Wow.
And then I think it's also being sold somewhere in Beverly Hills. The brand is based. The brand is based out of Venice Beach, Los Angeles.
You know, yeah, but that's chump change for people like. Well, but I will say, Rick, I'm impressed. I think a Brand of Promise nominee. I love the packaging. I love the profile.
Yeah,
the profile is really good. And this is a medley, so we'll definitely make it a point to put it in that category, because I don't, you know, some of the mezcals that we've had, almost all of them have been one plant, you know,
single species.
So as a medley, I'm really impressed. You know, if you got
I'm a big fan of Espadin, and you know, I think the Tobola would pair well with it.
Yeah, well, we love Tobola, you know, and there's a Tobola you and I are going to taste when we finally get out there. But yeah, I think Brand of Promise nominee in that medley category at a higher proof. It's called the Lost Explorer, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get lost without it.
Go to their website and watch the video for the Mescal. I think the web address is thelostexplorermezcal.com. If you just go to the Lost Explorer, you get like the magazine and the catalog, but for the spirits, it's trippy.
Like, pretty soon, LL Bean and you know, and Land's End Mescal. Don't be surprised. It could be the next thing. You know, everybody's coming up with their lifestyle mezcal, which is an oxymoron.
What would LL Bean's spirit be, like apple brandy or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Or maybe vodka with all the potatoes, the surplus of potatoes.
Yeah, straight from Idaho. I don't know.
Wow.
But
Maine,
you know,
Maine is known for its potatoes.
You get. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You get your branded jacket, you know, and it comes with a mezcal for your, you know, a pocket for your mezcal.
Tastes like leather and flannel.
Yeah, I know. This one doesn't. This is actually really quite nice. It's actually a much lighter flavor profile than I expected. So kudos to those guys. I think which family was this again? The Vanderbilt?
Rothschilds.
The Rothschilds. Okay,
yeah.
I get all those stuff. You know, I'm waiting for the Rockefeller whiskey, but you know, anyway. Congratulations to those guys. I hope that it becomes a success. You know, I think we think it's a worthy pickup. You all decide on the price. You know, if you're watching us on YouTube, down below in the comments, let us know if you've had it and whether you would pay this much money for it. You know, who knows? But that's our take on the Lost Explorer. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That guy over there is
Rick Levy in San Diego,
also known as the Lost Explorer. Don't forget to subscribe down below at the red button on YouTube. And, you know, as we like to say here on Tequila Aficionado, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.